So hello there, my name is Joey Cowden and I am representing Whites Creek High School, and we come today with a public safety proposal which is four-pronged. Firstly, we have first of all, we have causes of crime, models, statistics, and we also have 5 different unique proposals that are all related to public safety. Something we would like to bring up is the fact that public safety is a foundational aspect of any successful and thriving city. So we find it to be quintessential that public safety is taken seriously. And with that, we would like to go to our first proposal, which is the expansion of the DCRC program, better known as the Davidson County Recovery Court Program. Several individuals in our community commit crimes due to the fact that they are suffering from substance abuse. When we release someone back into our community with no treatment, not only do we neglect that individual, we neglect the entire community. The Davidson County Recovery Court Program has done a great job of providing transformative treatment to individuals prior to them fully re-entering society. In fact, their success rate was recently reported to be 90%. However, their footprint is much smaller than it should be. We suggest increased funding for the expansion of their treatment program facilities. Something we would also like to bring up is the fact that I feel that I myself, and this entire school believes it is a rather universal experience that almost everyone here likely knows someone who has suffered from drug abuse or also knows someone who may have suffered from drug abuse. And a lot of these people are not without hope. However, they require resources to actually get where they need to be and to be able to free themselves from their addiction. And we want those resources to be provided. The program available already works. However, it needs to be expanded. That way these individuals can actually get what they need to thrive. With that brings us to our second point, our proposal.
Hello, my name is Michaela Hester, and for our second proposal, we want to expand the mental health cooperative and DCSO inpatient treatment programs. Several individuals in our community are arrested due to suffering from mental health. Whenever we take someone into custody with who is suffering from mental health illness, we see an opportunity to help them and to prevent them from harming themselves or others. However, when we do not provide proper resources for mental health treatment, individuals are simply released back into our community and are more likely to reoffend. 5 in 1 adults in Tennessee suffer from mental health illnesses, and 3 million people live in a community who don't have enough mental health who do not have enough mental health professionals. 15% of the incarcerated population in Davidson County suffers from mental health illness. We recommend increasing funding for the expansion of inpatient treatment programs in both DCSO facilities and mental health cooperative facilities. Currently, the Behavioral Care Center at DCOS can only handle 30 males and 30 females. That is simply not enough for our growing Nashville community. Simply put, we need more staffs and more beds to help those suffering with mental health.
Which brings us to our conclusion of 3. Hi, my name is Elijah Harris, and I will be explaining to you the increased funding for the Barnes Fund. Currently, the wealth gap continues to widen due to increasing cost of living expenses. We believe that the financial struggles unfortunately lead to crimes at times. One of the best ways to stabilize someone financially is affordable housing. Why? Because housing is often the largest cost for anyone's budget. In 2013, the Barnes Fund was created as an incentive for developers to build affordable housing. However, only 395 of the new for-sale homes were built between 2013 and 2024. In response, we suggest promoting the construction of significantly more affordable homes by sending more support to the Barnes Fund. Thank you. We have a 4th point.
Gianna Grant, and I will be explaining implementing more public safety technology. According to a survey conducted by the National League of Cities, the following information was revealed. The survey included from Nashville, Atlanta, Lexington, Kentucky, Tampa, Florida, and Columbus, Ohio. Over 80% of respondents in every survey location expressed comfort with LPR cameras being used in public safety scenarios such as finding missing people, addressing acts of terrorism, and investing violent and property crimes. In addition, at least 70% of respondents believe that LPR cameras are effective for responding to cases like missing people, acts of terrorism, violent crimes, and property crime. In conclusion, by thoughtfully implementing LPR camera systems with transparency, data privacy safeguards, and community engagement, cities can utilize the power of this technology while respecting the concerns and trust of their residents.
Which brings us to our fifth essential point, increasing funding for MMPD personnel. The men and women who respond to calls for service and investigate incidents are the backbone of public safety. In addition, the civilian staff members who support them are just as vital. This is not only true in Nashville, but in every other major city. Because of this, competition for retention of highly skilled and qualified public safety employees are higher than ever. We must ensure that we maintain and recruit the best personnel possible here in Nashville. In response, we recommend more funding for increased salary, yearly salary comparison studies to ensure that Nashville is a destination where highly skilled and trained public safety personnel. Furthermore, we recommend funding for the renovation of MMPD training facilities. This investment recommendations will send a clear message that we support the men and women who play a significant role in keeping us safe. Thank you.
And now we will take questions.
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for that thoughtful proposal. Y'all are Whites Creek, right?
Yes,
Okay. I used to serve Whites Creek back when I was in education. So thank y'all for being here. Very excited to hear from y'all. Have y'all had any thought around or any conversations around one thing that we often discuss when we talk about public safety is different people feel safe in different ways, right? So for some people, increasing police presence makes them feel safe, and for other communities, increasing police presence makes them feel less safe. For things like license plate readers, and I appreciate that y'all said implementing it in a way that's thoughtful and transparent. For some people, increased surveillance makes them feel safe. For other people, increased surveillance makes them less safe, especially when we're thinking about members of like the trans community, members of the undocumented community, and how this technology has been used to cause harm and terror in some communities. Have you all had any conversations around how to implement some of these proposals in a way that is that all people could feel safe, regardless of their relationship with police and policing, implementing this in a way that everyone could feel safe?
All right, those are absolutely amazing questions. So yes, we have actually considered this. So one of the big things that we brought up was the fact that we would actively take community engagement into the question of how we would actually apply and implement this policy regarding these cameras. So I do agree, a lot of individuals, even myself, can at times have potential security and privacy concerns. However, the big thing here is we would take the feedback of the people in that case so we can get directly from them what exactly can we do to make sure that this can be implemented correctly.
As well as also taking into account of the people who we have behind these cameras, because it's not always that people don't want safety, it's the people who we have in the safety plans.
Any further questions?
Thank you. We are Weiss Creek.